I knew I had a drinking problem. So before I jump into that, just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Katie. Today I'm over 4 years alcohol free, and I wanted to tell you how I knew that I had a drinking problem and how it is that I actually overcame it through using a treatment that helped me to gradually reduce my drinking over time. It was not an abstinence-based treatment. It's a harm reduction treatment protocol that's an alternative to most treatments that are out there today. All my videos here on TikTok are about that treatment. You can check out the link in my bio for more information as well. So how I knew I had a drinking problem. So, I struggled with my alcohol use for nearly 10 years, and I questioned my drinking so many times throughout that period of time. I would, ask myself, am I an alcoholic? Do I have a problem with drinking? Maybe I just like to party. My friends drink a lot. Maybe it's normal. I would constantly question my drinking because it was just continuing to get worse and worse. And I was really feeling like I couldn't control my alcohol intake. But at the same time, the thought of never drinking again terrified me. And so I felt like if I was, to admit that I was an alcoholic or that I had a drinking problem, that meant that I could never drink again. But really that was the only option that I knew about. So oftentimes I would just say, okay, I'd be so fed up with my drinking. I'd say, this is it. I'm not going to drink anymore. And I would quit. I'd take, maybe a couple of days, couple weeks, couple months off. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm not an alcoholic. I can return to drinking again. So I'd start drinking again, and before I knew it, my drinking would be back to where it was or even worse. And I just continued in this cycle, really feeling frustrated because I couldn't moderate my drinking, but also the thought of quitting just terrified me. So once I discovered this alternative treatment called the Sinclair Method that helped me to gradually reduce my drinking over time, it helped me see things more clearly and helped me recognize, all of the signs that had been there pointing to the fact that yes, I did have a drinking problem, but no, it didn't necessarily mean I was an alcoholic or that I had to quit drinking forever. So some of the signs that I could see that I had a drinking problem were things like I was thinking about alcohol all of the time. I would start thinking about drinking at around 11 a.m. every day and kind of question, should I drink tonight? Should I not? But I was really just constantly thinking about and mentally preoccupied with drinking. And I now know that's a telltale sign of alcohol use disorder. Another sign is that I was hungover on a regular basis, at least 1 or 2 days a week. I was really hungover. I was someone who drank 6 or 7 days a week, and it was really hard for me to even have one alcohol-free day. At social functions, I also noticed that I would usually be the one who was drinking more than everyone else. People would be sipping on their glasses of red wine, for example, and I'd be chugging mine, wondering is there enough alcohol here? I also was not someone who could moderate my drinking. Having just 1 or 2 drinks was annoying, and if that's all I could have, I would rather just not drink. If you're struggling with your drinking today, definitely check out my other videos on TikTok or the link in my bio.